Shooting. Good evening. Hopefully you can see and hear me okay. Sorry if my little intro video didn't really start there. I think my hard drive is behaving rather slowly today. Give us a few seconds to get it going. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Kangamoo. It's been a while. Been good to see you back. Afternoon, Aussie. Good to see you as well. Good evening, Anne. Peter, you're actually here. Welcome to you as well, and welcome to everybody that Stephanie sent on your merry way to my stream from the ICM Photo Mag group on Facebook. So thank you very much, Stephanie, for passing along this along, because I'm terrible at marketing. I'm terrible at I haven't even tweeted this out or put it on my own Facebook or anywhere else like that. I just let's schedule it about an hour before I'm going live, and here we are, finally live. So there we go. Hi Tina, looking and sounding good, great. Hi Stephanie, hello, it's all your fault. And hi Justin. I was watching Justin's streaming efforts at the weekend, but he's on Twitch playing games. It was good to catch up with Justin then. Always good to see people playing around with streaming and whatever else you want to do. It's all good. Good to have some live interaction. Excellent. Right, I'm just going to shut the browser down so I open up some CPU usage, so we can kind of crack on. Right, so what have I got to mention first? Probably got quite a bit to mention, actually. What first, though? First, new toys. New toy. If you watched my channel for a little while, you know why, maybe a year or so back, I got a film camera. And I get given a film camera. And after a while, it kind of packed on the third roll of film. It packed up and stopped winding it on, and then is now completely seized. But anyways, I have a new old film camera, kindly passed on by my good mate Rob Knight via the hands of Andrew Atkinson, who called in for a chat earlier at the weekend. So he dropped this in for us. So I have a new old film camera to play around with at a point where I get a battery for it and some more film, because I've used all the film up that I had. And this is a ASI Pentax Spotmatic from about sometime late 60s or into the early 70s that was from. So I'm looking forward to having a play around with that in due course. I didn't mean it like that, Stephanie. It's not your fault. Not your fault that way. It's your fault that so many people come to watch me. So, not like that. Good evening, Diane. Hi, Tony. Good to see you as well. And Simon, evening. All you have to say, you'll be able to tell me how to use it in Kangamoo, because I looked at it and I just went, I don't know. Pass. Hi, Jerome. Grand. Oh well, I've got lots of people I can get in touch with. And actually, it's older than me, Simon. Well, I've got lots of people I can get in touch with when I'm stuck. Then, so I'm looking forward to putting a roll of film through that. It might even be a colour roll. So we'll see about that. Because when I got my other film camera, I just shot black and white just to test if it was working. So yes, right. So that was film camera out of the way. What else is coming? I haven't got around to it yet, but I will be doing calendars this year, so they will be being marketed at some stage before October, because I am slow. But I started investigating pricing and all that earlier this week, or like late last week, so I'm starting to think about that. I just need time to be able to get it all pulled together. So that's coming up. What else is coming up? I began shooting an exclusive video for the ICM photo mag today, so look out for that. That'll be part of the September edition. So get on over that and get on over to ICM photo mag and order your September copy, or why not subscribe for a year and get like each magazine, the quarterly. It comes out quarterly. I'll get my brain right and eventually. Hi Jack, and hi Ken, and hi Di. Good to see you all. Thank you all very much for coming along. So right, what else was I going? Yes, what else I was going to mention? If you will follow me on Instagram, and if you're not following me on Instagram, you can there. At Andrew S. Gray. I did put on... I made a mess of that. It's all covered in stuff. I put on my Instagram stories this week that this may be making a return. This is the book that published alongside Kozu Books. It's just a wee little thing. That is coming up. That came out, I think it was 2017, I think, when that came out. But I have made contact with the publisher again about getting some more copies of this printed, because I know some of you have mentioned it before about how to get a hold of it, and it's been sold out since 3 days after it came out. So I am looking at trying to finance getting a few copies of this made. There might even be a little tweak or two inside it, just so it's like a proper second edition rather than just a reprint. So keep an eye out on my usual channels for updates on that, but hopefully that might come to fruition, which will be fun and stressful and all of that. But yeah, so I think we'll better get cracked on with the image making, because I don't want to be just selling you stuff from the very start forever and ever and ever. So excellent, Grant, yeah, right. So you got the original version, Justin. Well done. Thank you very much for buying that, all back in them days. Right. Yes, gonna get started. Remember, if you enjoy this live stream, please do give it a like, drop it a thumbs up, stick a comment down below as well. Get involved in chat. Everybody's usually pretty friendly in here, so please do get involved. Right, let's start editing an image. Oh come on, get my brain in order. That's the wrong one. That one. So I went to a local ruin to me, a place called Harbottle Castle, which, to be honest, if you look just there behind me, if I go to that image there on the wall behind me, that is Harbottle Castle. So it's the same place as that. So we're going to make something new from the images I made yesterday there. And a bit of a spoiler, the image, like the video for the ICM photo mag, will be from the same place. So tonight's going to be about just trying to make an image from here. So yeah, shot a lot of ICM stuff. It was quite bright for a while, so that's why there's a lot of blown out areas. But it was nice. You've got the, I mean, the ruins themselves. If I can show you what the ruins look like. The ruins look kind of like this, just a few lumps of stone and curtain walling, and the ruins of the keep on the top and all this kind of stuff. That's pretty much what's all left. A few lumps in a field. So that is, well, we've got a better view of it. There you go. That's what it actually looks like out of a proper camera. Basically just ruined walls, lumps of masonry. And there we go. So, but it's got some nice, you know. I always find that this shape is quite distinctive to Harbottle. So I enjoy photographing here. So what I don't want to do is do something very similar to what I'm going to do for the ICM photo mag. So this one will probably go a little bit mad in. Do something, maybe not something different, but be a little bit wilder than the more restrained version that will be in the mag. So because I do like this composition of, you know, this kind of composition with, you know, the stone in the front leading in from the foreground, this block projecting out. Gonna use, you know, some of these ones. These ones are slightly more zoomed out, so we've got a bit more ground to play with. Composition-wise, I positioned it high in the frame and just did a lot of flipping the camera around this way to get all this light in. So we will think about a few of these. So when I get to this point, I started introducing the whole mound that the keep was on. You can see the angle in there, and then the angle down here. So it's not as pretty. You can see the shapes here. Actually, we could probably do these ones. This little group here, they are quite washed out, but that'll do. Yeah, let's use these ones. So that one through to there. So these 6 by the looks of it. Hi, Alien. Good to see you. So we're going to develop settings. And we will just do the usual vignetting, sorting out, and chromatic aberration. Detail, I'm just going to flatten out the noise reduction. Keep that ISO noise low. Basics. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to put the highlight clipping on so I just know what is actually clipped out as white. Jerome, you know for a fact it'll turn out red if I start with a green one. So, like I said, I think we'll go a little bit wilder today. And the one for the magazine might be green. You never know. But I think we can go a little bit wilder on this. Pull the highlighters down, so we're not clipping it all there now. All that has got something there. Probably gonna, yeah, it's a bit better. I'll bring in a little bit more detail using the blacks. Add a bit of contrast, just so it kind of projects a little bit more. Otherwise, it's gonna be a bit washed out. I was gonna say, I know I'm being very chatty tonight, but I did feel like I was coming down with a bit of a cold earlier, so my voice might all of a sudden fail on me. So do to be gentle if I get to about halfway through and I was just like, the voice is going. I've got to save it so I can finish the video tomorrow for the magazine. So yeah, that's about that. I'm thinking maybe a bit, just basically warm the image up a bit. We'll use this preset. I'm going to cool it off a little bit. Yeah, it's a decent starting point. Pull them whites out a little bit more. Right, clarity up a little bit, which is obviously bringing some highlights back, just to hopefully retain some of this rubble of a wall. We'll see what we'll get. What I'm doing now is dust spotting. And like I said, with it being quite bright, I did have to shoot this at probably about f11 off the top of my head. Just get some of these dust spots down the bottom. Come on. Yeah, red is the signature. I wonder how we got there. Right, so that's the spotting done. Have anything else I need to do to that yet? Play with contrast. No, let's keep that contrast up there. I'm reasonably happy with that. No idea where it's going to go by the end of it. So we'll just sync those settings across so everything's selected. There we are, that's all them applied, and then we will open these in Photoshop. So, open as layers. Can you almost tell that this is almost a rehearsal for the video for the magazine, remembering to talk through the entire process. Except that the magazine one will end up being a very different image. Maybe. Take a while there. Indeed, Peter, there is only one slider needed, and that is the red slider. Or maybe it's the blue and yellow slider to just to warm things up, cool things down on that red, so it's either orange or a vibrant red. Oh no, we're still loading. While we are still loading, I will just direct you to the wall of patrons on Patreon who support me each and every month. I wouldn't be able to continue with all this if it wasn't for them, so I thank them very, very much for their support, especially Larry and Jerry for their higher tier support. Very, very generous of everybody that contributes to me, no matter what level. But I will soon be releasing the YouTube membership as well, and that is another job on my list to do. I've started prepping it, but that's another video I need to make. So that will be being released in the coming weeks. And for the people on Patreon that are out there that are watching now, I hope you've had your notifications, but you should have had this month's desktop wallpaper should have already come through, and this month's atmospheric video, which I hope you enjoyed. I was a little worried when nobody had watched it up until about 10 o'clock last night. So I was thinking, has the notifications gone out? But it ends up they did. So that was good. Come on, select them all. Right, so we'll do some blending and see what we get. Ooh, there's some lovely textures in the front here. Straight away, just using the darken slider. Lovely textures in here. Because then all we need to do is sort out bloody ruin on the top to kind of work in. That's lovely in here, the way that's all come together. Anyway, let's try the other blend modes, see if there's anything better. Fantastic, Aileen, thank you very much. And thank you for confirming that you did actually get the notification as well last night. Very kind of you. Oh, and also, by the way, whilst I'm flicking through this, I actually attempted to record a podcast yesterday. Just me. You know, nothing exciting like an interview or anything like that. And it, I think, darkens the way forward on this one. So I spoke into a microphone for about 25 minutes and recorded a podcast. So I may actually release that at some stage, if I'm not too ashamed of it. Because you know me, don't like to do too many things. Actually, all that loveliness is all in these bottom two layers. So it's just a case of getting the position of the runes right. That'd be good. So yeah, this podcast, I may release the file. Just me telling my story of yesterday's disasters, because it felt like it was a disaster from start to finish. Right, I like that. I like that. So I need to bring this further down. Activate that one. Bring this one down into that area. So I'm going to this layer. I don't want the ruins, because we're kind of moving things into position. So that layer at the back, which is that stuff there, I like the line down the side, but I don't like the position of the ruins there. So I will mask that out very simply using a graduated filter as a mask. You can see that's now gone, but that line is still there. And actually, yeah, that's the one I was going to take out. So this one, I'm going to mask this one out as well, but not using a thingy mask. I'm going to use an eraser brush just to soften all that out. Maybe it's not out there. Just where that ruin is there. It's not taking it all out, just a wee bit. That one I can be brought down. Into about there. I'm not too bothered about that line yet, because it may well yet disappear. It may get cropped out. See where these are. Yeah, I think it's going to get cropped out. So that's going to be right at the top of the frame. Where's the crop tool gone? There it is. I wonder if I can bring that down. No, I can't. So there you go. So we've got that. Crop all that out. That looks nice. That's a nice base. Stephanie, I think if I was going to use any, I think I was going to use Podbean, because it seemed to be one of the cheaper ones. Once, you know, if it got to the point of me needing to actually pay for it. And then I think that would link into iTunes and Spotify and all that kind of gubbins. But I think I might just put it on Podbean and just put the link on my website or onto Patreon for the exclusivity for a few days, and then the YouTube membership thing as a bit of it for exclusiveness, and then stick it on everything else a few days later. I might do something like that. But it's just me whittering on for 25 minutes about everything that went wrong yesterday. Well, I realised this morning I didn't mention everything that went wrong yesterday because I forgot something. Because yesterday was so bad, I forgot one of the main things. Oh, it's just one of them days. The topic of my stories was shouldn't photograph on a Monday. So Buzzsprout was. I did see it was recommended as one of the best ones. But I'm not sure. I think it was maybe more restrictive on the free level. I don't know whether it only had a couple of hours you could load or so much bandwidth or something like that. I don't know. Technology, it's a bit beyond me. Alright, let's see if I can bring in some of these other layers. No, that's pretty dreadful. This one. Dreadful too, yeah. Them two can bugger off. There you go. Right, so this is the base of it all. It's not brilliant, but it's not too shabby either. Yeah, yeah. Nice tonality, nice start. Let's turn it red. Only joking. Only joking. He says. Probably is though. A new layer. Pick a red colour. Or an orange colour. Paint bucket tool. Let's turn it orange. And actually we'll go to the hue slider. Hue blend mode. Reduce the opacity to a point. 50-ish. Turn it on and turn it off. I'm now wondering if I should do this. Yes, of course I will. I'm not going to make a green image. I'll just turn it down a little bit, add it up. We'll go to 35-ish. Yeah, that's better. But I might mask that out. Little bit masking here. Just across where these woods are over on this side. There is a little bit off the top of there. It's hard to gauge the tonality because my monitor kind of turns just off white into green for some reason. Yeah. So anyways, Peter, why haven't you told us about your podcast anyway? That's the bigger question around here. I know you can't paste in links into the chat, but you could tell us how to find it. Would be good. Right, we are now at this position. Curves adjustment layer. I think my machine is kind of not creaking, but it's a little bit tweaking to go. And pull down on that end, flatten out that sky a bit, just a wee bit, about there. Right, because that's very. What I'm going to do, I am actually going to, because the weathering on the stone here has kind of left it grey, I'm going to put in Yeah, a hue and saturation adjustment layer, and I'm just going to apply it to that. So I need to invert that, I think. And then I need to paint in the white there. Stronger than 5% though, Andy. Something like that. But let's do it more subtle than that. Let's go 50%. Softer. There, you just need a little hint from it to come away. There you go. Oh, official launch August 15th. Oh, well. Do everybody give that a search out for Peter. Let's get that listened to. So if everybody's watching this later on and you can't see the chat, it's called the Dad Story Project. It's not photo related, but it's live now on all your favourite podcast sites, even though it's launching in a two weeks time. So get that searched for. I'll be searching for that later if I remember. Peter, messages. And I will hunt that out and give it a listen for you. Right, so that's the stonework kind of come back a little bit in the front of the image there. Anybody else got any podcasts I need to be told about? Or anybody else want some podcasts? You know, not sold, pushed out into the world to like all 10 of my listeners or viewers. Yeah, I'm really liking this foreground here. You can see these kind of bits here where the nettles are, little streaks of light, lovely, and just changes to the the faded out background where there's obviously a hill behind. There's forestry all up there, so I'm impressed with it. I think they do, Stephanie, but sometimes people will watch on a mobile device, and if it's full screen, then yeah. I'm sure that's on your list of ICM Photo Mag podcast. I'm sure that's on your list of marketing tricks to look into, Stephanie. I'm sure you've already thought about it. Yeah, everybody should have. Well, podcasting's the big thing now, isn't it? It's been around for years, and then everybody says, "What's this podcasting stuff gonna? It's gonna fade away," and then all of a sudden, everybody's podcasting. Podcasting is one of the biggest things around. So yeah, that's come out all right. Right, so that's probably enough image prep. Okay, I might just dial that back a little bit. And we'll jump into Analog Efex Pro 2 and see what I can make from this. Well, hopefully you might have me on as a guest, Stephanie, at some stage. Although I do usually talk crap when people ask me questions. My brain and my mouth don't join up very quickly. So poor Sam Gregory of the what's this called? Oh, how embarrassing! I've forgotten what it's called. Oh, how are you, Andy? It's the only podcast you've been on. Jesus, what's it? Mind has gone blank. What is it called? Oh, so embarrassing. Sam will have my guts for this. Come on, phone. Hurry up, load it. Come on, before my brain figures out what it's called. The Togcast. Of course, the Togcast. Poor Sam that runs that. He must have had a hell of a job to edit my episode together. trying to answer questions. By the time I tried to think of an answer, I'd forgotten what the question was. So yeah, it was it was bad. But yeah, an ICM Photo Mag podcast would do quite well, I think. I must get mine out first, though, so I can seize the market. Oh, nobody wants to listen to me ramble on anyway. Right, back to the image. I do some nice. So just using my presets just to visualize what's going on. Try to think. Not think of something to do, but think of an end stage I want to arrive at. So there's a bit to this one. I think it just needs a double exposure maneuvered into a position where it helps the image work. I think actually that line of stone isn't doing it any favours. Oh. Could be problem. And then again, out there it works not too bad. I think I'll maybe change the yellow of the image. Always happy to help, Stephanie. Always happy to help. I'm just really enjoying. I know it's our small little niche, but I'm just enjoying seeing a lot more ICM content out there and around there. I think it's brilliant because a lot of the other photography is boring as pants. It's quite nice, that. Maybe the tonality of the yellow does need to change a little bit. So the lens vignette, that needs a better position, I think. Just maneuvering that around to a point. Yeah. You get a lot of that darkness on the hill, I think. Maybe it's better. Just drop the strength of it a little bit. Or ease it back to the middle. Alright, get this colour sorted out. Right, let's just leave that colour back in and then just sort out the basic exposure. Yeah, because the in the basic adjustments here, the brightness is quite high. So I can maybe pull that down a bit. That's getting some lovely action in here. Now, nice and dark in there. Maybe raise the contrast a little bit. No, keep that low. Yeah, that's just the right amount of detail extraction, I think. About there. Nice. Should we just call it red, Peter? And the logo will just be a square of red. Oh, how funny. Good to laugh about these things. And give away all your secrets on a live stream. That's about there, that's looking good. So now we just need to, right, I'm going to use a film type just to change some of the play around with these just to see if there's any other natural mix that will. So that looked all right. Might be one of these ones that it looks a bit too old. You know, it's been in that smoking room a little bit too long. $2,500 injured and 25 dead in that explosion. My God, did you see that on the news? That explosion, that scared the bejesus out of it. Just watching it. Horrific. Absolutely horrific. Right, let's just drop that a little bit. We're back to the warm, yeah, the warm film type. Number one, this top one does give you a very tobacco-y kind of finish. I think this is a stick it into Viveza and have a tweak, a further tweak, or even just reduce the strength of it when we get back into Photoshop. So we'll do okay with that, go back into Photoshop and then have a little bit more play around. See, there's some more tweaking to do. Yeah, it was just when the shockwave went out. I mean, the first time I saw the clip, obviously there was a big plume of smoke, and you're thinking, oh, that's what it was. And then out of nowhere, everything kicked off. It was like it was just like, jeez, seeing that shockwave coming towards you. And I saw one from a boat that was like a speedboat out to sea there, and then it went off, and then you could see the shockwave coming across the water at the boat. God, that was scary as well. Just shows you don't know when it's your time. Just reducing the opacity there, I think, has helped a bit. Nice. Right. So anyways, I'm going to go to Viveza, have a little tweak in there. Try not to lean on the desk handy because it sends shockwaves through the microphone. Right. I look like, I mean, they said they were like balconies were blown off and all this kind of, yeah, and heard it in Cyprus, they were saying. Just shows you what it was like. So I mean, I know it was, it was after 6 p.m. or whatever when it happened, but anybody working in the port, you've got to think, are in big trouble. Absolutely horrendous. Is when it's blowing windows out and blowing doors out of buildings a mile away from the centre of it. Ruining buildings, what it's going to do to a human body that's nearby, absolutely horrendous. Just not nice to even be thinking about it. Put my shadows up just a little bit there. Very marginal difference. Maybe the biggest changes in the sky here. Gone from a bit too much of a pink. excuse me, a bit too much of a pink or warmness in the sky there. Just those little tweaks in Vivier's and it brought a little bit more of a cooler, greyer tone into there. What else can we do? Structure, just play with structure. We can get more lines and stuff into there. We can probably do more targeted kind of structure stuff. Or maybe it's not. Yeah, let's not. Let's just leave that as it is. Hi Ray, good to see you. Thanks for coming along. On by way, hello to Hometown Heritage. Hello to you as well. Sorry I missed your chat before. Right, yeah. It's kind of got that like almost mist rising. You know, like a warm day when it's rained, and then as the sun's come out again, that mist's just lifting a little bit. It's got that feel about it, you know, because that line's kind of blurring away. I quite like that. It's not my best work, but for the minute, it's looking all right, I think. Right, okay. Right, what I'm going to do, just for laughs, I'm going to duplicate that layer, and then I'm going to do some more playing around. Just to see what happens when we get down to the bonkers blend modes. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Do some free transforming. Right, let us just have a little bit more swizzle. This isn't going to be the end result. This isn't just me looking to do things a little bit more bonkers than intended. Yeah, let's do it about there. Let's see what that's like. So now I've got to remember how to do this now. Let us go to the, what's the color effects one, isn't it? Color effects, and then see if it'll not really invert, but it hopefully if I do some white balancing, it'll do something. Fingers crossed. Anyway, right. Can you tell I was playing with film before? Where's that colour band? White neutralize, that's the one I was on about. So you know that dropper, then you can pick spots throughout the image to try to balance the color back to white. Well, that does very little. We'll increase the values of these. Whoa. Just clicking on various spots on the image just to see what it's doing. Did the stonework there? Alright then, it's not going to do much. Right, add filter. Favorites, go favorite that. There we go. Pro contrast. Play with some sliders until you have something. So without it, with it, that's all right. I mean, because I've done a lot to this, this will be a very noisy image. Thank you all. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Simon. I think I'm probably ruining it now, or doing a second version. Thanks, Jerry, and thanks, Jerry with a J. Always good to differentiate. Thank you both. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Jerry, in the magazine there. I was honoured to be asked, as always. Right. I'm going to OK this. And we'll go back into Photoshop. And I think I'm going to do a little bit of colour tweaking. If I remember how to do it. Selective colour. Yellows. Keep the yellow high. Yeah, let's make those stay the same. Yeah, add in a bit of cayenne into there. Just keeps things regular. Group them together. I'm just going to put them into a group. And then I'm going to, right, that's what we're going to do. More experimentation with blend modes. Oh, it's just normal. Yeah, I think that's what 2 versions. Actually, that layer needs to be in that group as well. Drop the group, and that goes to the bottom. There we are. Now that group is all one. So that's our main image, which in comparison looks a bit flat now. Yeah, compared to that one. But I think it's because I've added blue into the second version. Added that blue. It just adds that extra dimension, doesn't it? let's just look at the in detail. Yeah, you can see there's a bit of artifaction going on there because of all the expansion and blend mode work. But it's not too offensive. And really, I suppose I could kind of blend that into the bottom image. So I'm going to Control J to copy that group. I'm going to hide that group, and then I'm going to mask, give this group a mask, and mask that down from, actually let's do it a bit stronger. Something like that. And then we do then have a bit of blue. We're going to reduce the opacity a bit. Then that initially flat looking image now has a bit of different colour in. Makes it better, I think. I can maybe even go in there and just tweak things a little bit. Tweak things a little bit more. Starting a little bit more there. Something like that. I think, do we have several versions, or is that the version? I'm almost tempted that that's the version. It's a kind of a mixture of the two. Compared to, yeah, that one's just too overbearing. So I think this one with that sky is better. Thank you very much, Jerry. It's very kind of you. Yeah, that was from obviously Lindisfarne Priory Ruins, which you'll have seen in the video if you've watched the video. A few minutes of listening to the tourists talk in the background from that. But yeah, I thought that one came out really nice. So right. Yes. I will save. Yeah, let's just do the one version, save that. And I think that'll do it. And I think that might even get a square crop out of that, or a 4x3 or something like that. Could be quite nice. Right, of course it takes forever to save. Actually, whilst do I have right for those of you out there that aren't on my Patreon? Oh come on! Why does it do that? I hope my hard drive isn't failing. I keep on opening up images and then it just sits there and does nothing. So those of you that aren't on my Patreon, that is this month's desktop wallpaper. So you too, if you are part of my Patreon, you too, well, providing you're on the $4 and over layer tier, you too get a monthly wallpaper, and this is this month's monthly wallpaper. This is August this month, so I hope everybody that's on there enjoys that one. I don't think Francesca's out there tonight, but she did email me straight away and said, I love it, I've already installed it. So thank you all very much for supporting me on there, obviously. Right, okay, yeah. Still saving, come on, machine. My God. Not that many layers we've done tonight, is it? Finally, right. Close that down, back to Lightroom. Give that 3 stars so I know where it is. So yeah, this is definitely right. I need a second virtual copy. Crop this to, come on, machine's so bloody slow, or Lightroom is so bloody slow. Kind of a standard crop. Alright, 16 by 9 is still a bit narrow. Fair enough. Let's go 9 by 5. That's narrow as well. 2 by 3. There we are. That's a bit more as normal. Yeah, I think on the left hand side there. Yeah. New virtual copy. New crop. Something like that. Crop it. So what did I say? 16 by 9. So this is your typical wallpaper. You never know, it might be next month's wallpaper. Yeah, just to chop a little bit off the bottom there. Lovely. Maybe it's even a little bit of vignette, post-crop vignetting. Then it kind of darkens the sky off a bit, doesn't it? So maybe it's just an ND filter across the bottom here. Just to dull that back. Just holds the image in a little bit more. There you go. I haven't really, Jerome. I know it's out there. It's you can, well, I suppose you can still get loads of bonkers colours and presets. One of the things I was going to look into is actually making the, is it the calibration presets? No, it's the like the starting point presets where everything's zeroed out but everything's bonkers. I was going to look into trying to make something with them. So, hi Stan, by the way. Good to see you tonight. Oh, you'll just have to watch and catch up. You see what you missed out. A few layers. Another ruined castle as normal. A few announcements. I can't remember if I mentioned everything tonight. I think I probably did. So yeah, I think that will be. It's not a bad result. I'm happier now with the two. I mean, I wasn't overly enamoured with it when it was just that brownie toned image, but with us doing all that other bollocks and managed to bring in a bit of blue sky there. I think that's helped a lot. I think that's helped the image, just giving it a bit more depth and a bit more profiles. That's what I was meaning, Jerome. Profiles. Couldn't get, as per usual, words in here, or can't make it to mouth, or words stuck in the back of the head, couldn't make it to the front of the head to be able to come out the mouth. Yeah, profiles. I had bloody language. The quicker we can all start communicating by telekinesis, the better. I'll not need to stutter so much then. So, yeah. So there you go. I'm quite happy with that. Quite happy with that. Where's that bloody image that I found? Looks like a before version. Maybe I didn't star it. I will show you the before version. Where is it? Bloody thing. It's because I photographed on both cameras, and the timestamp's different. So you randomly get something half an hour later. It's in the middle of it. Right, where's it? Ah, here we are. So that obviously is the new version, but that is the actual what was there. So that, you know, that line in the middle, a ruined curtain walling. You've got the forestry in the background there, the village just down below from the down the hill, and the road that goes through. All very nice. The full motte hill that it's all on. Lovely spot, absolutely beautiful. And if you are a Patreon subscriber, God, I'm hitting Patreon big style today. If you're on there, then I did actually film the next atmospheric video from here. The only thing that might stop me actually putting it out is the fact that somebody in the distance had a chainsaw going the entire time I was there. So if you want to listen to a chainsaw going, then fair enough. But the other thing is, I filmed it all in 4K. I am not convinced my PC will be able to edit it together. Because I didn't realise how big 4K is. 17 or 18 gigabytes of film I shot yesterday. So we'll see how that goes. It might not go well. But anyways, you might see more of this lovely spot if you're on there. Right, I think I'll probably do for tonight. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Thank you for listening to me ramble, which is the most important bit, because a lot of the time I wonder why anybody actually turns up, because all I feel I do is sit here and ramble. So thank you all very much for coming along and putting up with me. Indeed, Peter, indeed. Yes, give them all a go, Jerry. I mean, the whole of the Nick collection, or a lot of the Nick collection, is very, very useful. Color Efex Pro I used to use quite a lot. Don't use it so much now. Or just the odd tool like the white neutralizer. But I mean, there's ways to do it in Photoshop as well. But the Analog Efex Pro is obviously the main one that I use. So yeah, highly recommend to, if you've got them, use them, because they're not cheap. So do use what you can. I'm glad somebody enjoys the rambles. I might put that podcast out then. Then you can listen to me ramble, and listen to how I thought I dislocated my finger yesterday. So yeah, and it's all because of ICM photography. That's why I nearly dislocated a finger yesterday. Right, I am rambling now. So thank you all so very much for watching. It's very, very much appreciated. Please do all stay safe out there. This COVID thing is nowhere near over in any country, it seems. I can see here in the UK we're gonna have problems again pretty soon. We've already got parts of the country all locked down, so please all do stay safe out there. Come for the edit and stay for the rambles. Kangamoo, you are a star. Well, as long as you enjoy it, I enjoy doing it, because it's usually the only talking I do most of the week, so it's always good to do. So right, I am again rambling and talking to you in chat. Thank you all again, and we will see you probably next week for more ICM photography editing. So until then, keep hard. See ya.